There is no such thing as consensual sex for men now. If you engage in sex with a woman, it'll always be considered non-consensual. This is a perfect example. This young officer from Tennessee, Megan Hall, engaged in wild sex romps with her male coworkers. And of course, when it was found out, they were canned. And guess what? Instead of showing solidarity with their fellow officers and saying, we didn't do anything wrong, we just engaged in sex, what she did was turn on them and accuse them of grooming her. Now, this is one of the reasons I wouldn't want to work with women. This woman fooled these guys like women do, saying, oh, I'm engaged with sex with you, I was nice to you, and therefore everything's copacetic. But as soon as the shit hits the fan, then they turn on the male officers. They show that they never had any respect for these guys as human beings, okay? Now, we'll show you how enthusiastic she was about this. The Tennessee police station was rocked by allegations of wild sexual misconduct after a married female officer allegedly had steamy romps with 6 male officers, including illicit on-duty liaisons. Wow, she was, like I said, this is what open marriages are. It just means that in order to keep the girl around, you got to allow her to have sex with whoever you want. That's what open marriage is, right? Anyway, Officer Megan Hall and her fellow law officers allegedly engaged in wild sexcapades that included sending dirty pictures, taking her top off at Girls Gone Wild hot tub party, and even having oral sex with 2 officers. Does this sound like there's been coercion involved? No, it just sounds like a woman enjoying her sexuality. Now, the steamy shenanigans, since Hall allegedly bragged about the size of one of her partner's genitals and claimed to be in an open marriage, led her to be canned, but also led to the firings of some of these other guys, right? Because a couple of guys kept their jobs but were suspended. Now, does it sound like this woman was anything but enthusiastically consensual? She was having the time of her life, right? Now, what'd she do? She filed a complaint against the city for sexual hostile work environment. That's what she did. And let's see, here we are. After being fired, Hall filed the complaint, claiming the officers used their supervisor positions to groom her, then performed sexual acts without her consent. See what I'm talking about? So this shows you that she was completely consensual, and now she's just lying her ass off and trying to get out of it and sue them for it. You can't groom an adult, by the way. You can only groom children. So you can see she's even connecting her fellow police officers who actually like her and was respectful to her to pedophilia. That's how low women sink when they want to turn on you. That's how meaningless you are to them. We are to them. It's so obvious it was consensual, right? Now, one last thing that's important to me to point out, in the interview during the initial investigation, Hall told the director about other officers provoking sexual acts. Provoking, in other words, they came on to her. That's something she outlined in her complaint filing. Hall said there were only 6 female officers at the department that were treated as sexual objects and targets for verbal and physical harassment. So there were 6 other women there, but she was the only one who engaged with sexual activity. I guess the grooming didn't work on them, did it? So this young lady enjoys her sex and wants multiple partners and did it of her own volition, and now she's turning on these guys. And why is there only 6 female police? There are only 6 female police officers because I want a mostly male police force. Trust me, you know. So anyway, she engaged with 6 police officers. Were they all supervisors? Was she the only like regular cop and all the other guys were supervisors? No. She was just having a good time, which I don't particularly have any problem with. But it's so obvious that this woman just turned on her. This is if you have female coworkers, don't be fooled by their smiles. They don't respect you, don't see you as a fellow human being. You mean nothing to them. And also, I want you to take a good look at this young lady. This destroys the idea of things like the wall. Well, she's not old, but I mean, this destroys the idea that ugly women can't get laid. The femcel, that's the one I'm talking about. This is not a particular pretty girl at all. And she got all kinds of male attention. I just want to point that out too. But in any event, the conclusion is just assume if you're having sex with a woman that the potential is there that you're going to be considered a criminal. Because in order to for that not to be the case, men have to get off their asses and start working to change the social mindset and the legal structure. Okay, that's what we have to do.